All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Tanis, and I'm a Presidential Diamond. I know lots of you guys on here. I know a lot of you guys are popping on. I know a lot of ladies are coming from different things, so I wanted to record this. I'm super excited to be chatting with Jen tonight. Now, Jen, I feel like you and I have kind of known each other for at least the past year or so.
Okay.
We're not on the same team. Jen's amazing. She's a new triple diamond, you guys, and I'm so excited for her to share her story with us tonight. And I'm going to be asking her some questions. And then at the end, if you guys have any questions at all for Jen or myself, please just ask in comments, or you can unmute yourself and ask. And we'll keep this to around 30 minutes or so. I like shorter Zooms, and they're more, we get everything all in, and then people can ask questions. So, Jen, thanks so much for tonight. I'd love for you to share your story. I don't know your full story, so I'm excited, to hear all about it.
Yeah, of course. Well, thank you so much for having me on. And yes, Tanis, I have been following you for some time on Facebook. And when you asked me to come on this Zoom, I was just more than honored. And I am so truly excited and feeling super blessed to be here to pour into your team, my team, anyone that's here. So you are amazing. I love you. So
I feel the same way. So perfect.
When I started this business, November 2014, I was a stay-at-home mom during the day to my two little boys, and I worked nights at a restaurant. Not my dream job, but something I was doing to pay the bills. Prior to that, I worked in radio, and I loved that. But once I had my boys, I truly realized there was no other place I'd rather be than home with them. So who knew me, someone who thought the term stay-at-home mom would just it wasn't something I was drawn to, of course, prior to having my kids. And in finding this business, it has absolutely changed our family's lives. So 4.5 years later, it was about just over a year into my business that I went full time with It Works. I went diamond. I earned the $20,000 good bonus, or double good bonus at the time, which was the get out of debt. Now we have the rank ups and these amazing bonuses still on the table for all you guys this month, which is incredible. I went diamond and then double last year and triple diamond just this last month. And I can tell you, what an amazing blessing. We're constantly redreaming and building new dreams for ourselves and for our families. And that is something that we continue to do here in our house. And, I try to make my boys a big part of that so that they know that anything is possible for them too. So.
Oh, that's awesome. And I love that you talk about your family, and, you've been in the business. Well, I guess, so when you started, what was your goal with this? Did you want to go all in? Were you, I feel like everybody joins for different reasons, which is so true, right? And for you, did you join and you had that vision right away and you needed to make that income? Or were you just kind of wanting to see what happened with it? Or what were your goals when you got started? And because I know everybody has different journeys with this business. I share with my team, I have girls who, get started and they're on fire right away. And then some people might take them a little while, which is totally normal. So Can you share a little bit about why you joined in the first place, and, what your goals were? Because I know for me, everybody has different goals. So can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, you'll hear it time and time again, that a lot of people will start this business for $500 a month, and our Ruby rank is right around that mark. And our whole entire company is made up of rubies, 3 rubies and a diamond. How amazing is that? And I truly came in for $500 a month. I thought, sitting at that, I went to a wrap party. So that's when I first, a girl at the restaurant invited me over. She had just joined the business. She had invited me. I'd been blitzed twice, and I'd seen this thing, and I was like, yes, I will come to your wrap party. Thank you so much for inviting me. And so I went that day, and that month as a waitress, you're relying mostly on your tips. So I think we had that month. Some months you get paid 3 times. And that particular month we had got paid 3 times, and my paycheck was an extra $500. So I was sitting there in this room. We're all waitresses with the exception of one other girl. And I was looking at the girls there with me, and I was like, gosh, if I could make an extra $500 every single month, not just this month, what would that do for our family? That would make a huge impact. And so I got started with that goal in mind, and I was not a runner by any means. So if you have, I didn't even get my shopping spree, right? I had my launch party December 13th, a week before Christmas. and I signed 3 customers at that launch party. And I didn't get my shopping spree, but I plugged away, and I was always excited to build my business. It just wasn't like I was like not all in from the very beginning, and totally, guys, that's okay. So it's probably after I went Ruby. I went Ruby after 10 months. And once I hit that Ruby rank, I was like, yes, this is the real deal. Got that Ruby paycheck. And, you know, we just kind of went from there. So
that's awesome. I love that you shared that because, you know, like look at you now, a triple diamond, which is crazy. You guys, triple diamonds. I know some triple diamonds who are making $20,000 a month, right? So I'm not saying everybody starts at that, but you know, look, you started for $500 a month, right? So I know when I saw you in February in Florida, it was so fun seeing you on the boat and everything. And every time I see you and we talk and everything, you always have such this nice way about you and this nice bright light about you. And that's one thing I always really, really liked about you. And it's, you know, in this business, it's a people business, right? So it is a relationship business. So what made you decide that you were ready to go triple diamond? Like, I know you signed like crazy amounts of customers last month or the month before. It was crazy. Can you share a little bit, like, what made you decide that you wanted more? How did you get those customers? What made you decide that, okay, you joined for $500, now you want to make 10,000 US a month, right? I mean, everybody wants to make that, right? But what made you decide that it was your time?
Yeah. Well, that's a great question. And you know what? Like, I feel like I definitely could have ran for triple the month before. And that's the thing with this business is once you decide, you just make that mental shift. And, you know, you have to be ready to work for it. You know, this business is not hard in terms of the steps that we take. You know, we sign customers and we sign distributors. You know, we follow up and we make new friends. Like that's what we do day in, day out, day in, day out. That part isn't hard. The hard part is sometimes staying consistent, you know, as we're building, but then being ready to really go all in. And in March, I guess I just wasn't ready for whatever reason. And it's all up here and it's all in here. I wasn't ready to go all in and put in the work because gosh, yeah, it was a ton of work. And last month I did. I signed over 150 customers and I didn't see my kids. I didn't see my husband. The shift and the energy in the house was totally different. They're all part of it and they know what we're doing. They're 8 and 9, so they know and they don't know. I feel like they understand a good part of it, but I feel they understand more after we reach the goal. And then we're able to say like, yes to this, yes to that. Let's do this. We're celebrating now. And, you know, so I think for me, it was just a mindset shift. And I just said like, why, you know, I remember my upline is Barb Hauser. I'm not sure if you're on right now, Barb, but she went diamond in 9 days. So if you guys are not following Barb Hauser, you need to. But I remember calling her on April 1st, excuse me. And I just said, Barb, like, I just feel so, I'm just being transparent with you guys. I said, I feel so foolish for not running for triple last month. Like, I don't know why I didn't do it. And, you know, she's well aware that until it's all up here, there's nothing that anyone can say to you really to make it happen. You have to make that decision for yourself. And so it was just a mindset shift for me. And I was like, I don't know why I didn't do it. Why didn't I? And I went in. And so in terms of going all in, like, what did that look like for me? It did. It looked like, you know, sacrifices where you're taking time out away from your family, and that's okay because it's a short time. You're not doing it for months on end. You're doing it for 2 to 4 weeks, however fast you're running, right? And definitely the last 2 weeks of April were insane. And my family understood that. And my husband's super supportive. And my kids are both in school during the day. So it looked like me dropping them off at school at 9. And I would come home and work my business. And Becky Mitchell, I see you're on here, another diamond on our team. And she knows I work my business from 9 till 3 every day, Monday to Friday. That's my jam. And I work it a lot from social media. Facebook is my thing, and host to post. So I would just spend, you know, those last 3 weeks, the majority of my time was spent asking people to host a post for me and then talking to those people and following up with them and asking new people to host a post. And it was just like insane by the end of the month, the amount of momentum that I had built just by doing that so much more than I had been ever before, that it was just like at the end of the month, like Becky, you were at my house. It was just like signing little customers, like, because you do that and you have the ability to do that when you put that all that extra energy. And like you said, that good energy, right? Like you got to be excited. You got to be feeling it. You got to be like, you know, willing to give all you got to these customers, these potentials, loving on them and like treating them like they are your BFF from the get-go. Like, you're my best friend. I just met you. We are best friends, and I'm going to help you reach your goal. And they need to feel that from you. And it's funny, like social media, sometimes we think we can post something on social and people just see it, but I feel like they truly feel you and they feel your energy. And like, that's one thing I love about you, Tanis, is I always feel like your energy is like very kind and just like giving and loving, and like people sense that from us. So we need to be able to, you know, give that to people because we get what we give.
And I really love that you shared, you know, it's a decision, and, you know, and people, you know, people are attracted. And, you know, I don't know if you saw in the Lifers page, you guys, that's our top leaders page. They asked, how do most people get their customers and distributors? I don't know if you saw that, but it was posted like maybe a few days ago. And I clicked off 2 things on the polls. And one was attraction marketing, following up, and the other one was messaging and talking to people, because I feel like, for me anyway, it's okay to run a business by attraction marketing, but you can't just put up a post and, like you said, expect everybody to just show up at your door and sign up as customers and distributors. It's talking to people, it's following up with people. And I mean, I bet for you, you know, most of my distributors and customers, I'd say 90% are from following up. So when you're signing up those customers, those how many hundred and what customers?
I don't know the exact number. It was over 150.
That's amazing. Okay, so what did your day look like? You're not into detail. You don't have to go into detail, but you were hungry for it. Like, so you knew what you needed. You looked at your chart. You knew that what you needed to go triple diamond. And again, when you're hustling, your team sees that too, right? So can you share a little bit about what your month looked like? I mean, you did kind of share a little bit about it already, but were you mostly Facebook? Were you getting on the phone with people? You know, consistency is huge. I talk about that with my team all the time. I know for me, in the past 4 years, the only time I have taken off from Facebook was like 2 days when my dad passed away. Like, I am very committed to my business, and people see that. Like, if you're not committed and showing people where you're going, and I knew you had said on a team page somewhere that I'm going triple this month, and I believed you. I was like, yeah, she's going triple, right? So, you know, people want to know, like, people want to support people, want to join people who know where they're going. So can you share a little bit about that and getting, you know, those customers, I don't know how many, if you needed a bunch of distributors too, I don't know exactly what your plan all looked like. But can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't recall. I think I was boxed in. So going in, I think the distributors were there. We might have added a couple that month, but overall it was, sorry, do you want me to just share like how I got the customers more or less, or kind of what my day looked like? Yeah. Yeah, like it was following up. There were times I got on the phone with certain people, because certain people just, they want to hear from you and know that you're a real person, or that's just their style, right? I'll give you my credit card information over the phone type of thing. But because the host to post was working so well, especially for the TFX, like, I wouldn't say all of those customers were from TFX for sure. And so it was asking them to host a post for the TFX, and then having that exact same conversation every time. It really, I mean, there were certain things that probably shifted, but for the most part, that's what it was. And then in terms of follow-up, it was like, so if I was talking to someone that day, and it just got like a little bit crazy, right? But if I was talking to someone that day and I have like my book and I'm just going to write a day here, and who did I talk to that day? Like, and I would just start and I would write. And yes, we had the Connect app, and that's amazing, but I was doing it that way. And I would make sure before I went to bed that night that anyone I talked to on that day, they were getting another message, because they're like, yeah, I'm going to order. So I'm going to follow up with them right away. Like, urgency is key. And if I didn't hear back from that day, I would flip back and I would message them the next day and be like, hey girl, I'm so excited for you to help you get your product. You're going to love it. Your results are going to be amazing. I know yesterday was probably super crazy for you, but do you have a sec now? So the urgency and the follow-up is really key. The excitement was key. And even the urgency in having them place their order. So when they're placing their order, if they're doing it themselves, I'm texting them the link, and I'm letting them know, like, let me know 2 things. Let me know if you run into any trouble on the website, because some people will run into trouble and not message you. So I was like, let me know if you run into any trouble. And also when your order is placed, so I can just help you get set up on, some free product credit, aka their perk points or what have you. And that just created more urgency for them to go in and get it done right away. So I found that was really, really helpful. And it was really just, making sure I was staying on top of people. If they were going to order, I want to make sure that their order got in the system as soon as we could make that happen.
And I like that you shared that, because I know for me, if I'm buying something from someone or through another direct sales or a friend and someone doesn't follow up with me, I forget. And I'm just like, okay, well, people we are paid to sign up distributors and customers. We are paid to help our team and, build that volume. And you need that urgency, right? Especially if you want to make those, 5-figure monthly paychecks. So one thing I was chatting with my team today, and I'm sure you can relate to this. I think everyone can relate to this, that people have times in their business where you're going to have that momentum, or you're sometimes going to have times where you're going through something, you feel like you're in a funk. I know for me, you guys, the biggest thing, we talk about consistency again, because when you take like a few days off or you don't show up on things, like staying close to the fire, getting to events, showing up to a get together, even posting on Facebook and listening to a 10-minute, podcast. So do you do any personal development, or what do you recommend like for your team, or what? I know for me, I was honest with my team. I didn't start doing personal development until I went triple diamond, because I was so hungry to make money. I was just excited and just got on everything, right? I didn't really know what I was doing. Well, I figured out what I was doing. But do you do personal development every day? Because I also think sometimes people do too much personal development and not enough action, right? Mm-hmm. So can you share a little bit about what you do, to kind of fill yourself up and fill up your team?
Yeah, for sure. Well, you know what? And I'm kind of like that, where I'm like super red. So I'm like running on fire and like, let's do this thing, in terms of like messaging people, because that's what we do. But definitely like that month, I was, and still like, I love following Bob Heilig. He is just a social marketer on Facebook. You'll find him anywhere. You can watch his videos for free. And I love that. I'm not a huge reader, an English lit major, not a huge reader. Like, don't judge me, but but like I'll watch his videos, the team trainings, key. And I know like when I was going diamond and double and etc., we always called our distributor trainings new distributor training, but I would always make sure to get it no matter how long I'd been in the business, because I knew that it didn't matter if it was a double diamond or a triple diamond or a brand new distributor speaking, that there was something I could learn from every single person there. And that filled me up. And being in events like this, your weekly trainings, and also the Show Me the Money call, those are huge.
It's so true. Like, I know for me, I have to get on things, or else I feel like I've missed out, or I feel like, I try and, always kind of fill my cup so I can, be there for my team and my future team. Because I think that part's huge too, because whatever your team looks like right now, remember, you're filling yourself up for your future business, right? So I know for me, you guys, like I've had lots of ups and downs, but in business life, but the biggest thing is that you have to stay plugged in if you're making a commitment to your business and your future, because you don't just make $10,000 a month. Like, it doesn't just happen. I mean, and I love hearing stories from people who started for $500 a month, because I'd say like 80% of people do, right? And not everyone's going to get to triple diamond, but anybody can, right? So, oh, hey, Barb, how are you? And you know what? And I agree. Like, Jen has always been so, I don't know, I've always been drawn to you, like, even when we met, because you have this personality and you're such a kind person and you're people's friend, right? So what is one thing that you would share for someone who is either a diamond leader or a ruby leader and they're trying to get to that next level? What's one thing that you would recommend? And then we can ask people if they have any questions to really push for in their business. I mean, you already kind of explained quite a few things already, but what's one thing that you would recommend to the team on here tonight about really, being committed and getting that promotion?
You know what? I would say two things. I would say, push if you aren't already, which I'm sure if you're a diamond or a ruby leader, you already are, but always push to be the hardest working person on your team. You have to be, you have to be willing to do everything that you're coaching your team to do. And so every month is my goal to be the hardest working person on my team, regardless of what my team is doing. I'm looking at them, I'm cheering them on, I'm loving their success, but I want to be that hardest working person. So it helps propel them and helps, pull them up to new levels. And hey, if someone, is enrolling more than me or bringing in more volume than me, like all the better, and we can cheer each other on together. So I would do that. And then I would just like push your goal. So if you had a goal, like if you have something that you've done in your business, maybe you signed 25 customers and that was your biggest month, push yourself to sign 30 this month. Like push, because if you've done that once, then you can do it again and you can do more. You can always be doing more. So I would just say push yourself to work hard and then to reach new heights.
That's awesome. I love that. And it's so true. Everything that you said, it's about pushing ourselves to be our best, because I always tell my team, I'll never tell my team to do something I'm not doing myself. I'll never say, get on this Zoom or, make sure that you're posting opportunity every single day, because I'm always doing that. I always show up, and that's one thing. And that's how you become successful, whether your goal is diamond, ambassador diamond. So I really love that you shared that. Does anyone have any questions so far about anything? Do you have any questions for me, Jen? And then I just wanted to, I wanted to keep this, we're almost 9 o'clock, but actually, no, it's 10 o'clock almost for you. But does anyone have any questions? Because I really love that what you shared tonight. I'm trying to learn from new leaders all the time. I don't care if they're, there's double diamonds, triple diamonds, ambassadors, diamonds that are on fire, right? And the team are all over the place. So any questions that anyone has, you can unmute yourself or type in the chat. And don't be shy.
No, don't be shy. So while they're bringing up their courage, I have one question for you,
Okay.
If you don't mind. So in terms of organizing your follow-up for your loyal customers, what do you find works best as a system for you?
Oh, that's a good one. Well, you know what? I do it by Facebook or text because most of my customers and distributors are coming from Facebook, Instagram. If I meet someone on Instagram, I'm always getting them over onto Facebook. So I usually, and I'll say this right now, because my goal is always to try and transfer my customers over to distributors, right? And like you said, be their best friend. So if someone's loving the product, using the product, and they're excited about it, I always say, hey girl, do you want to use the product, make money and help people? So I'm always following up with people at least every few weeks, and especially, before their auto ship. But I always just do it through Messenger and write their names down in a book. Like I don't do anything crazy. I'm not a super organized person.
That's cool. No, it's good to know.
Super organized person, but I do keep track of my customers, because that's a main thing, you guys. You have to keep track of your customers, because those customers are like the building blocks to your business. Don't just sign someone up and be like, okay, see you later, right? You have to follow up with those people. I connect with them on Facebook, and then they start seeing your opportunity post if you are talking about your business like you should be. Doesn't matter if you're a brand new distributor or you're Ruby or whatever. People are going to be attracted by what you're putting out there. So just the biggest thing with your customers, follow up with them, be their friend. I like to voice message people and just be like, if you need to message like 10 people, just say like, hey girl, how's your product doing? I just want to check in. And you can just send voice and message it out to everybody in your Facebook, right? So, you don't need to write each person. Like when I first started, I remember I sent out like these huge long messages to people. It was awful. I just didn't know what I was doing, right? Like even when I was trying to get people to join my team or, as customers. But yeah, I just keep it simple and then just follow up with them and talk to people. So Steph's adding, what are your tips for signing distributors? Honestly, do you want to go first, Jen, and then I can go, or whatever?
Yeah, I think like signing distributors, that was always the question I asked when I was a brand new distributor. Every training I got on, it was like, what do I say? Like, give me your scripts. And I think that's the biggest thing to say is that like there is no script. It's going to be things like Tanis is saying where you're posting your opportunity posts, you're sharing what the business is doing for you and your excitement daily so people can get that excitement and they're getting fired up from watching you day after day. And also, honestly, like I love signing distributors from host to post. So if someone has hosted a post for me and they have one customer or they just have like a whole bunch of comments even, I'll message them with excitement, especially if they've signed a customer. I'll be like, oh my gosh, guess what? Exclamation point, smiley face. And they're like, hey, what? And I'll say, your friend Laura signed up from your post. She's so excited. And let them respond, and they're going to say, oh, that's great. And I'll say, absolutely, I definitely want to let you know and to see if you want to make some extra money from her order. And then they're going to have some questions. And from there, I just like to keep it super simple. You know, let them know they get the kit. We'll help them get a few more customers by continuing to post and get their shopping spree. And they're going to earn commissions as well. You know, no biggie, right? We kind of keep it on the down low in that sense. But I've had some major leaders join my team who started that way. So
that's awesome. And it's just being excited and bold, right? Like I know for me, I always sign up distributors because I make that a point to sign up distributors every month. I'm not a huge mass enroller, right? But that being said, if I know I need to sign up 5 distributors, or my goal is always to get those fast starts too, right? Ever since the beginning, getting those fast starts, it's huge. And then when you promote to diamond level, you guys, you start getting these cabs that like your paychecks can be huge, right? So I know for me, I haven't done many host to posts for distributors, but I have just started doing that. And I know for me, what works for me is what I keep doing. I talk about the opportunity at least once a day, and I'm very big at interacting on social media. And I think right now, I think that honestly, I'm not saying this to be mean, you guys, but I think people just get lazy sometimes. I think people put up an opportunity post and then they don't talk to anyone, or they don't interact with people, or they don't message anyone, and they're just like, okay, well, I can't sign up distributors. You guys, you have to be bold with people. You have to ask people. I know for me, I'm always talking to new people, and I ask them to be on my team. If you want to sign up customers and distributors and have a booming business, you have to ask people. Because a lot of the people, if I didn't ask them, they would have signed up with someone else. That goes for customers too. Some of your customers might not even think about the business. That's why you have to ask them. Say, hey, girl, have you ever thought about making money too? And they're like, really? Oh, that sounds cool. Like, let me hear more about it. So you just have to ask, be really bold, be super consistent. If you're working on Facebook and Instagram, I mean, I know for me, Jen, are you more a Facebook gal, you said?
Yeah,
so am I. I'm more of a Facebook girl, and I'm always growing my network. But one thing I'm always doing, you guys, is I'm making those connections, because connections in our business is everything. So you have to make sure if you're growing on social media that you are being bold, you're connecting with people, and you are talking about the opportunity and your story every single day. I usually do it like probably twice a day. But that's me, and then it's following up with people. Nahani's asking you, we often hear leaders say, I just decided to make it happen. What was your mindset before you decided, and how did it change once you made the decision? What did that feel like from your perspective?
I think to reply to that is just, you're going to be able to make that shift when you get into a lot of action, right? So when you are being really consistent with your business, and when you're struggling, you're asking for help so that you can not just be active, but you're seeing results as well. But just get super consistent, put out action every single day, and more today than yesterday, and more tomorrow than today. And as you're doing that, you're building momentum, you're building excitement and belief within yourself. And that is where your mindset shift is going to happen in the long run.
I love that. Sorry, I was taking a boomerang, a picture.
So good.
A picture. Debbie's asking, what would you say to follow-ups who keep ignoring your messages? Has anything worked well for you? You know what? I don't bug people. So there's a difference between following up with people and being kind and genuine. And then there's a difference between being like that annoying, like salesperson, which we don't want. I know for me, honestly, I will follow up with someone, but then again, I'm just their friend. I don't go straight to like, so are you ready to order? So are you ready to join my team? Like, I do it in a way where, I don't know, I'm just their friend. And if someone's ignoring me, I've said this many times, I'm like, hey girl, sorry if I like, did I upset you or anything? And then honestly, they always reply and they're usually busy, or maybe they're just not ready, or maybe they don't have the money. But that's really what I do. I mean, I won't message them 20 times and be like, hey. What do you do? Do you, how often do you follow up with people, and, what do you say if they're not ignoring you? I know what she's asking, but.
Yeah. Well, in a perfect world, I will do the 2-2-2 rule. So follow up in the 2 days and 2 weeks and 2 months, and then every 2 months forever until eternity. But in all honesty, if someone is ghosting me like that, maybe if there's someone you really believe is meant to be, especially in the business with you, maybe I'll flip it and just really start interacting on their posts a lot more intentionally and things like that to help build the relationship that way. Or like Tana said, like, hey, are you like just super busy, or did I say anything to offend you? And in that case, they'll often reply.
Yeah. And I mean, I like that you said that, because it's, sometimes people are just have life going on and they're like, oh, this girl's bugging me. You know what I mean? Like, even though we're not like that. But again, some people do it the wrong way, you guys. Like, I had a friend over the other day and we were talking about business owners. You guys, how many people do we know, you guys, who have started a business, jumped to another business, they're there for a month, they go to another business, and they're just, people, it's not that people don't like our business or network marketing. It's just that people get annoyed by the people who don't know what they're doing, right? So it's a skill that you need to learn, and learning, how it's going to work for you. I mostly build on social media, but I love getting together with people. I'm meeting 2 girls tomorrow that I met from a mom's group, and they're both pregnant, and I'm going out for dessert with them, and they're new to Winnipeg, and they ask me about the business. I'm in this mom's group, and I meet a lot of people in Facebook groups, but you have to take the time. If you're just posting on Facebook all day long and posting every few hours, getting in a few chats, getting on a few Zooms, you're not going to promote. Like, you have to really take that next step, get uncomfortable, and just, you need to talk to people, right? Like, and if your network is like all people that you went to school with, or all your family and friends who might not join you, or maybe they will once you're a triple diamond like Jen, but you have to get out there and really push yourself and be bold if you want to promote to diamond and up, because it doesn't just happen. Does anyone else have any other questions? I know for me, I was really excited to hear from you today, Jen, because you're just a normal girl. Like, I mean that as a compliment. You're not like, you're just that girl who just decided what she wanted. And I didn't know that you joined for $500. And I have girls on my team who joined just for fun, and now they do this full time, and they retired their husbands, and, they paid off all their debt, right? So another girl on here right now is Annie. Hi, Annie. Annie was a Ruby. Was it like last, like 2 Marches, like 2019, 2018, you're a Ruby in March, and then you went triple diamond in August, right?
Yeah, exactly it. Yeah.
Like, how crazy is that? And Annie said the same thing. She just made a decision, and that first year or so she was in the business, she wasn't, fully, like, she was having fun. But when you decide that you're going diamond, double, triple, presidential ambassador, like, it's a decision, and you either go all in and do it the right way, or it just doesn't happen, right? So I always love hearing your story, Annie. And there's so many amazing success stories, like, all over, Jen, your team, Barb's team, my team, like, all over the map. And, I just, that anyone can do this. It doesn't matter your background. We have girls who work full time, or have 2 jobs, or have 5 kids, or I'm always amazed. Barb, how many? I think Barb has 4 kids, right?
4.
Yeah.
4. Okay. Well, I know people who have 5 or 6 kids. But I'm always amazed by these women, and they say sometimes busy people just get stuff done, right? What is your best start line when you send your message to start talking to someone about the business?
Well, for me personally, I don't tend to message specifically about the business right now. I feel like, when you're kind of like building like that and you have that momentum going, I feel like you'll get some people commenting on your posts, and then, you can talk to them just from a very genuine place. And if you were to prospect someone because they're on your timeline and you built that relationship with them, I would, say to them, something really simple, and you're already friends with them, you've already communicated with them before. And so you could say to them like, hey, Erica, I think, we've talked a few times before and you would honestly be so amazing at what I do. And you can leave it as simple as that and, let them respond back to you. And then again, it's just you sharing why you already know how amazing they'll be. Because the thing that we do in this business is we pour belief into others so that they, we need to believe in them so that they believe in themselves. So
I love that you said that because it's so true. Like, so many people, you guys need this. And a lot of top leaders say this, people who are skeptical or they never would join something like this. And then, when people are ready or when they hit their rock bottom and they keep watching that person and that friend of theirs and they keep watching Jen on Facebook killing it, they're going to be ready to join, right? But you have to be putting in the legwork, right? You have to be, when you look at your social media, are you an inspiring person? Are you consistent? Are you telling people where you're going? And I want to join someone who has big goals and dreams. I don't want to join someone who's never around, right? And so, I like that you said that because, people just don't know what they don't know usually, right? I never, ever thought I would be doing anything like this because I never knew anything about this. And when I kept watching this girl completely change her family's life, she had what I wanted, right? So, not everyone's going to relate to everybody's stories. And that's why I always like having different leaders and people share their stories because everybody's totally different. But, the one thing we all have in common, you guys, is that we're on here and we want better lives for our family, our future, and we're building a legacy here, right? So you have to believe in people, like Jen said, before they believe of what we're doing, because they have no clue. Everybody starts brand new and has no idea what they're doing, right? So, yes, exactly what Barb's saying, like you have to plant those seeds, and you guys, I have girls on my team who I followed up with forever, and now they're, top leaders or people that are on their way or, and it's crazy. You can't give up on people. If you're following up with a person once and saying, oh, they're not interested, well, that's your fault, right? So, I know for me, Kristen, what you're asking, I do the same thing as Jen. And one thing I did when I joined, because Kristen, I know you're new and you're doing a great job. I know for me, be bold with people. Ask people to join your team. Tell people you want them on your team. Like, first thing I did when I joined it is I reached out to 5 friends because you needed 5 people at first, to promote to Diamond. And, it's like, girl, do this with me. It's going to be so exciting. I was just excited. No idea what I was doing. But, people joined me because I was excited. And, I had a plan and I had a goal, right? So, and I still do that, but I do what Jen does. I don't straight up message people and cold message, but I do message people and talk to them. And normally they ask me about it, right? Or I'm like, hey girl, have you ever thought about doing this? And then they start seeing your posts. And then I always throw the type of income that you can make in there. I don't say oh, you're going to make millions of dollars your first month or anything like that. But a lot of people are going to want to hear that. If that girl didn't talk about the income she was making, I wouldn't know that people could make $40,000 a month. And as a red, I was like, holy crap, I want to make that type of money, right? And so, you have to really think about, why did you join? And think about, people are watching you and you need to put out what you want to get those runners. Yeah, exactly what Barb said. Does anyone else have any other last questions or anything that they want to ask Jen or myself or anything that they want to add? I really appreciate you, Jen, coming on tonight because I always love hearing from, just busy moms, or whether you're a mom or not, anyone can do this business. It's just making the decision. There's a shift, right? You have to believe you can do it. I know I've been in lows and lows sometimes in life, in my business, but one thing I always, always, always do, and you have to do this as a business owner, you guys, is you have to be plugged in, even if you don't want to, even if you don't feel like doing something. Even I was listening to this podcast earlier, and a lot of mediocre people, this girl said, don't want to do anything. People want to get and make an amazing income and have a successful business by not doing anything, or what's the next. I mean, we all watch Netflix, right? We all do, right? But instead of binge watching 20 shows, get out your list, like talk to people, right? And, you know, it can change your life. Like, yeah, I want to watch Netflix every now and then and lay around in bed, but I also know that if I can make 5 figures a month and retire my husband and help my team, I would much rather be doing that. So, well, that's amazing, Annie. Yeah, just keeping in touch with people and being their friend. And this business, you guys, some people are real people. Some people need to learn those skills. Some people just, it comes natural to them, but anyone can do it, right? So Jen, thank you so much tonight. And what's one last thing you would say to girls on our team and your team that are running to Ruby or Emerald or Diamond or Triple? And I've also shared with my teams, like I've had paychecks where they're like skyrocket, and then I've had times where I've lost people or people have quit and I've, you know, questioned myself. But what's one thing that you would leave us with for those who are really working on those promotions?
Oh, guys, I would just say go all in, you know, shift everything you have to shift to make it happen, and just work harder than you have ever worked, because once you get to those ranks and you've promoted to that promotion, like you're on your way. And truly, like the paychecks that we are making here as distributors with It Works Global right now, they are unlike anything that anyone in your whole entire family lineage has ever seen. And that is life shifting. That is changing everything, not just for yourself, not just for your husband and your kids, but like for your parents. You know, you can have them as distributors on your team. And it's so many gifts that you're able to offer to so many people, and your whole entire life is going to change because of it, and because of the work that you put in and day out to get there, you know. And remember, we don't have to work this hard forever, 24/7, but we got to go all in as we're running towards these promotions, and know that you have support, you have encouragers, you have people that are on your sideline, your upline, that are here to help you. And so if you run into any obstacles, reach out. You're not on your own. We are cheering you on, and you guys can absolutely do this.
I love that, Jen, so much. And I want to share one more thing with you guys, and then we'll let you all go. That person I watched, you guys, I didn't end up joining with her because she never asked me.
Wow.
Never asked me. And I just kept watching her. I didn't like, comment, or message her because I just kept watching. So people are watching you, but you have to be bold and talk to people. And the only reason I joined with a girl in my city is because, oh, she just joined and I'll just join with her. And that girl never worked the business. So I signed up with someone who never worked the business, but I watched someone who like is a millionaire in the company, right? And I mean, I'm friends with her and everything. And she's always like, oh, shoot, I should have asked you, right? But I just didn't, because I was like, okay, a girl in my hometown joined, I'll just join with her. But then I was really on my own and I had to figure things out. But I was, you know, I mean, if you've joined a business and your direct upline, you always know that you always have that next upline to go to, and that's what I did. So anyone can do this. Jen, I appreciate you so much coming on tonight and just sharing your wisdom, and you know, and you have such a nice way about you. And are you a full-on red, or are you a yellow too?
Yeah, I got some yellow.
Yeah. I always see the yellow in you.
Not a lot of green, and I like to have some fun too. So
yeah, so you're a rainbow. You're a little rainbow butterfly, right? All right, guys, thank you so much for tonight, and I'll have this recording up, and I appreciate you all for coming on tonight. Thanks, guys. Bye.